And today is the 24th of February, and we all know that we started, by the way, our General Assembly with the silence minute, just to remember all victims from
Russian war in Ukraine or against Ukraine, genocide. We can say
so
all
Russian
these words.
war in Ukraine and their victims. So we tried to remember how many of them. So more than 15,000 of soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers. Also approximately about 7,000 of civilians, including kids. And today we spoke about the art and how art can, what role of art in our contemporary life. So you are here in Istanbul, so you left Ukraine because of very certain reasons. Where are you from?
I'm from Lviv, and actually I left from Ukraine 4 years ago with a risk, like I wanted to establish some art center which Ukrainians will be in priority. That was another thing that for years and years, every time I try to apply somewhere as an artist, I always heard that we are not in priority. Now we are. But unfortunately, the reason of that priority became that price of all this war, all this death, refugees. In here we don't have a refugee status. We are temporarily displaced, and the role of art, it is very important because it's like open voice. When they say that you cannot say the word war, when you should cover it in some way, art can speak. Art can be very loud. And for all this year, we tried to raise the voice of Ukrainians in Turkey, because Turkey have a very natural position. So it's hard because it's also like our front line. And yesterday in my speech, you might heard that when people think that art is not political, there was, as an example, I will say the word of Petrovsky, who is the director of Hermitage, when he say that it's their front line, like a special operation. So he basically compared art to war, that he basically said that this is a front line. So how we can say that, how we can be indifferent? It's impossible. When people say to me that we should unite, we should gather with Russian artists as well, I say it is impossible. It is impossible. Another thing that during the years and years, then when Russia stole our culture, because it was still in culture, it was still an identity. When no one knows that Malevich, he lived in Kiev, or Gogol wrote about Ukrainian villages, that it was Ukraine. So we are trying to protect our territories, at the same time, not just as a land, but territories in a culture aspect, an aspect of identity. So this is very important field. This is very important, like we say, second front zone, second front.
Soft power. So Slava Ukraine.
Героям слава. Yes, and I am very happy that we managed this year to make several projects in Istanbul. We found support. A lot of people who support Ukraine, like Bedri Baykar, he also supports. He gave me also yesterday, he allowed me to speak however I want, which is important. We brought artists who could speak about their pain. We brought an artist who, for 8 months, her parents were under occupation in Kherson. So she lived in, I cannot even imagine in what kind of stress she lived. When she was in here, she helped her mom to move from Kherson to Lviv, the place where she studied, so she lived in, the artist lived there. Another artist, he Andriy Roik, he's a guy who can, young man who can go to fight, and we struggle so much to provide him all this necessary documents to leave the country just for this particular reason, to show his art abroad. So we are very happy that we managed to do that, and we showed through the art, because obviously we can speak different languages, but that language of art, it could be more powerful, more loud, and more understandable. So that was very important as well. And yeah, I don't know, there are a lot of things to say. It's 1 year, and also I don't know, I will just think, for this 1 year, today I woke up with also tears, but it was so different tears. The year ago, I literally remember as if it was yesterday, that feeling of like as if we lost something, as if we were scared, we didn't know what to do, we didn't know where to go, even like, you know, that your country is as if they're dying, the bombs are literally coming to the buildings, but you don't know what to do, you are here. But this morning we woke up with a power. I felt like we are so strong, we passed through this, and these tears which we have, me and all of my friends who live here, the tears were not of fear what we will have, but of this pain what we had last year. And this feeling made me feel straight that we are going right way, and that the victory will be soon. I believe in that. And all those people, all those support of all the countries. Like also in here, for example, we had an event together with Poland and Lithuanian embassies in Ankara. It was very nice, lovely event, full of support, and it was very great. With some special Lithuanian liquor.